The flames devoured the brownstone like a lover scorned, licking up the walls of our Brooklyn home with a hunger that mirrored the rage I'd buried for months. I stumbled out coughing, my skin blistered and raw, clutching the only thing that survived, a singed engagement ring tangled in my fist. But as the sirens wailed and the world blurred into smoke, the last coherent thought searing my brain was Alex's voice on the phone earlier that night, cold, final. We need to talk about her. When I woke in the ICU, tubes snaking into my arms like accusations, the doctor leaned in with that pitying smile doctors reserve for the half-dead. Tessa, do you know who you are? I stared at the ceiling, my mind a scorched canvas, blank except for one jagged shard. A woman's face, laughing in the shadows, whispering secrets that tasted like ash. She burst through the curtains then. My fiancé, Alex Rivera. The woman I'd promised forever to just 6 months ago, her eyes wild with relief and terror, clutching a bouquet of wilted daisies like a peace offering. Baby. Oh God. Tessa, she gasped, dropping to her knees beside the bed, her manicured hands trembling as they reached for mine. But in that fractured instant, as her touch grounded me, my lips parted and the words slithered out unbidden. Get away from me. You bitch, you're the one who set the fire. The hospital room smelled like antiseptic regret, the kind that clings to your nostrils long after you've checked out. Alex froze, her full lips parting in a gasp that echoed louder than the beeping monitors. Her brown eyes, usually so steady, like the Hudson on a calm day, widened into pools of hurt. Tessa. What? What are you talking about? It's me. Alex. You're Alex. She squeezed my hand, but it felt like chains, cold and unfamiliar. I yanked back, my heart slamming against my ribs like it was trying to escape the cage of my chest. Flashes, erratic, like a glitchy film reel, flickered behind my eyelids, hands pushing me toward the stairs in the smoke. A silhouette in the doorway, laughter turning to screams. No, I rasped, my voice a stranger's, gravelly from the intubation tube they'd ripped out hours ago. I remember. You did this. To us. To her. The doctor. Harlan. A no-nonsense black woman in her 50s with a voice like warm bourbon, stepped in, clipboard in hand. MS. Whitaker. Retrograde amnesia from hypoxic brain injury. It's common after smoke inhalation. Your memories might be jumbled, fragmented. Give it time. She glanced at Alex, who looked like she'd been gut-punched. And stress won't help. Rivera. Perhaps some space. Alex nodded numbly, standing on wobbly legs, her tailored blouse rumpled from the vigil she'd kept. She'd been here all night, the nurses said later. Cried into her sleeve when they wheeled me in, sirens still echoing in her ears. But none of that landed. All I saw was betrayal, a venomous vine twisting through the fog in my skull. I'll be back tomorrow, she whispered, voice cracking like thin ice. I love you, Tess. Whatever you think. I love you. The door clicked shut, and I was alone with the ghosts. 34 years old. Graphic designer by trade. Queer as a $3 bill since I kissed Jenny Hargrove behind the bleachers in high school back in Ohio. I'd fled the cornfields for New York at 18, chasing dreams of neon lights and open hearts. Found Alex 3 years ago at a queer poetry slam in the village, her reciting Neruda in that husky timbre that made my knees buckle. We were fire and water, me. The impulsive artist with tattoos snaking up my arms like rebellious vines, Her? The rising star litigator with a law degree from Columbia and a smile that could disarm a jury. Or so I'd thought. Now, staring at the engagement ring on the bedside table, platinum band with a sapphire that matched her eyes, doubt gnawed at me. Why did it feel like a shackle? Why did her face morph in my mind's eye into something sinister? A shadow with sharp edges? Discharge came 2 days later. Against my better judgment. Alex insisted on picking me up. Her sleek black Audi idling curbside like a guilty secret. She helped me into the passenger seat. Her touch feather-light. As if I were spun glass. Home, she said softly, merging into the snarl of Manhattan traffic. But our brownstone was a crime scene now. Yellow tape fluttering like mocking ribbons. We're at my place in Chelsea till the insurance sorts it. Her apartment was all sleek lines and exposed brick, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Hudson. Abstract prints on the walls that I'd picked out last Christmas. Screamed success. The kind I'd always envied a little. As she fussed over me, fluffing pillows on the king-sized bed, brewing chamomile tea, I watched her like a hawk. Every graceful move felt rehearsed. Every smile a mask. That night, as rain lashed the windows, I couldn't sleep. The nightmares came in waves, flames dancing like lovers, a woman's voice cooing. She'll never know. I bolted upright, sweat-soaked, and padded to the living room. Alex was there, curled on the couch in yoga pants and an oversized tee, scrolling her phone with red-rimmed eyes. She looked up, startled. Can't sleep. Who's Elena? The name burst from me like a cough, pulled from the ether of my broken recall. Her face drained of color. What? Tessa. Where did you? I saw it. In the smoke. You and her. Laughing. Before the fire. My voice rose. Accusatory. Fists clenched at my sides. Alex stood slowly, hands out like she was calming a spooked horse. Elena Vasquez? My old college roommate? Got. That was years ago. Before us. She's married now. In Philly. I swear. Liar. The word exploded. And I hurled the nearest thing, a throw pillow, at her. It bounced harmlessly off her shoulder. But she flinched like I'd swung a fist. Tears welled in her eyes, spilling over as she backed toward the kitchen island. You think I burned our home? For what? To cover up some affair? I'd die before hurting you, but the fragments wouldn't align. In my mind, Elena wasn't a ghost from Alex's past. She was the present, the poison. A live Latina woman with laughing eyes and curves that haunted my dreams, whispering seductions while Alex watched. Complicit. Didn't make sense. But trauma has its own logic, twisted, unyielding. The next week blurred into therapy sessions and awkward silences. Dear Patel, my neurologist, prescribed puzzles and journaling, warned me about confabulation, the brain's desperate lies to fill the voids. Your long-term memories are intact. Whitaker. But the fire's trauma is rewriting the narrative. Trust your anchors, photos, diaries, loved ones. Alex became my reluctant anchor. She cooked my favorites, spicy shrimp tacos from that hole in the wall in Red Hook, read me bedtime stories from my dog-eared copy of Audre Lorde. At night, she'd curl against my back, breath warm on my neck. But I stiffened. The intimacy a minefield. I miss you, she'd murmur into the dark. Even if you're here. You're gone. One evening, as autumn leaves skittered across the high line like confetti from a broken party, She took me for a walk. The city pulsed around us, vendors hawking pretzels, couples tangled on benches, the distant honk of taxis a symphony of survival. We stopped at a gelato cart, her treating me to pistachio, my old vice. As I licked the cone, a spark ignited, her fingers brushing mine, the way her laugh crinkled her nose. For a heartbeat, the fog lifted, and I saw us, dancing at our engagement party in the Hamptons, her in that emerald gown, vowing, "You're my forever storm." I leaned in, lips grazing her temple. "Alex." But then the shard struck again, Elena's face superimposed over hers, smirking. I jerked away, gelato dripping forgotten onto the pavement. "Don't," I snapped. "Don't pretend this is us," she shattered then, right there under the amber street lamps. Sobs racked her frame, shoulders heaving as she slid down a lamppost. "What do I have to do? Tessa, I've given you everything, my heart, my home." That fire. It wasn't me. It was faulty wiring, the investigators said. "But you look at me like I'm the villain in your story." Passers-by stared. But I couldn't move. Guilt twisted in my gut, sharp as shrapnel. Was I the villain, punishing her for sins my brain conjured? I knelt, pulling her into my arms, her tears soaking my collar. "I'm sorry," I whispered, rocking us both. "I don't know what's real anymore." That fragile truce held until the email arrived 2 days later. Buried in Alex's inbox, I'd been borrowing her laptop for memory exercises. It was from Elena Vasquez. Subject: Missed you at the reunion. Drink soon, for old time's sake. XOXO. My blood ran cold. Old times. The pieces slammed together. The late nights Alex claimed were billable hours. The perfume on her scarves that wasn't mine, jasmine. Not my citrus. The fire. A convenient erase button. Rage boiled over. And I confronted her in the kitchen, printout trembling in my fist. "You're sleeping with her. Still." After everything, my voice was ice, but inside, I was fracturing. Alex's face crumpled. "Tessa." "No." "Read the thread. It's nothing, polite catch-up." She's straight. For Christ's sake. Married to Mark. I forwarded it to you months ago. Remember? Before the proposal. But I didn't. The amnesia was a thief. Stealing trust brick by brick. "Prove it," I demanded, chest heaving. "Call her." "Now." She did. Speakerphone on. Voice steady as she dialed. Elena's cheerful lilt filled the room. "Alex. Long time. How's that gorgeous fiancé of yours?" We talked awkward. Stilted. Elena's husband chiming in from the background about their twins. Innocent. Maddeningly so. Alex hung up. Eyes pleading. "See? Told you." Relief warred with shame. But the damage festered. That night, I packed a bag. I need space to sort this mess in my head. Her silence as I left was louder than any plea. Couchsurfing at my best friend Mara's in Williamsburg followed. Nights of cheap wine and tear-streaked confessions. A butch dyke with a buzz cut and a heart of gold. Listen without judgment. Amnesia's a bitch. Tess. But Alex, she's solid. Fought for you like a lioness in that hospital. I nodded. But doubt lingered. Scrolling old photos on my phone, us at Pride. Rainbow flags whipping in the wind. Lazy Sundays in bed. Her head on my chest stirred flickers of love. Yet the shadows persisted. A argument overheard. Alex hissing into her phone. It's over. Elena. Don't call again. Was it real? Or confabulation's cruel joke? The climax brewed as Thanksgiving loomed. The city decking itself in twinkling lights that mocked my inner gloom. Alex reached out via text. Come home. Please. We can fight this together. I showed up at her door unannounced. Rain-soaked and raw. The sapphire ring clutched in my palm like a talisman. She pulled me inside. Lips crashing into mine in a kiss born of desperation, salty with tears, hungry with need. We tumbled to the rug, hands rediscovering curves and scars, her body arching under mine like a wave reclaiming the shore. I need you, she gasped, nails digging into my back. All of you. Broken bits and all. In the afterglow. Tangled in sheets that smelled of us. The truth clawed free. Not from memory, but from a hidden drawer I'd rifled earlier. A letter. Yellowed and folded. From Elena. Dated 5 years ago. Alex. I can't do this anymore. The affair ends tonight. You're meant for more. For someone who sees your light. Forgive me for dimming it. Burn this. Love always. E. Fair. Ends. The fire in my mind wasn't arson, it was metaphor. My brain torching the wrong bridge. Elena hadn't ruined us, she'd freed Alex for me. But in the smoke of trauma, I'd recast her as the destroyer. Oh God. Alex, I sobbed into her neck. I called you the monster. But it was me, I ruined us. She held me tighter. Fingers tracing the burns on my arms like sacred runes. No. Baby. We rebuild. Together. Winter clamped down on New York like a jealous ex. Snow piling on the fire escapes. Turning the city into a muffled dream. Alex and I tiptoed through December. Therapy our lifeline, couple sessions with a queer therapist named Jordan, who had piercings in places that made me blush and insights that peeled us raw. Trauma doesn't discriminate, he'd say. His voice a gentle baritone. It just exposes the cracks. Your job is to fill them with gold. Not glass. We tried. We tried. Morning started with coffee on her balcony. Steam curling like unspoken apologies. Watching ferries slice the frozen river. Afternoons. I'd sketch at my drafting table, reclaimed from storage. Scarred but standing, pouring fractured memories into line art. Swirling flames morphing into embracing figures. Alex's face emerging from the chaos like a phoenix. She'd glance over from her laptop, prepping briefs for a pro bono case defending trans youth, and murmur, "That's beautiful. Tess. Like you. Nights were the battlefield." Lovemaking stitched us closer, slow at first, exploratory. Her lips mapping the new topography of my scars, urgent later. A reclaiming that left us breathless and bruised in the best way. But dawn brought the ghosts. I'd wake gasping, convinced the bed was ablaze. Shoving her away with cries of traitor, she'd soothe me back. Humming Nina Simone until my pulse steadied. But the toll-etched lines around her eyes deepened the hollows in her cheeks. Betrayal's shadow lingered. Not just mine against her, but hers unspoken. I sensed it in the way she'd pause mid-sentence. Phone buzzing with a name she'd silence. Work, she'd say. But her jaw would tick. One blizzard night. Holed up with takeout lo mein and a bottle of Cabernet. It erupted. We were binging the L-word ironic therapy. Jordan suggested to reclaim our narrative when my sketchpad flipped open to a half-finished piece. 2 women in an embrace. One with a knife at the other's throat. Alex stared, fork midway to her mouth. Is that us? The wine loosened my tongue. It's what I see sometimes. You. Holding the blade. Elena's the one bleeding out. She set her bowl down. Deliberate. Like disarming a bomb. Tessa. We've been over this. Elena was a mistake, a fumbling college thing. Before I knew what love could be. Clean. Done. But if it's poisoning us. She trailed off. Standing to pace the Persian rug. Snowflakes melting on the window like tears. Then tell me the whole truth, I pressed. Heart thundering. No filters. Why'd you really call her that night? Before the fire. Her back to me. Shoulders rigid. I didn't. You must have misheard. It was my sister. Rosa. About Thanksgiving plans. Liar. The word hung heavy. But this time, it was laced with plea. I remember the jasmine. On your skin. Weeks before. Alex whirled. Eyes flashing. Jasmine? That's from the bodega candles. The ones you love for ambience. Jesus. You're building a case against me like I'm on trial. Her voice cracked. Vulnerability cracking the armor. Do you know what it's like? Loving someone who sees you as the enemy? I quit my firm for you, turned down partner to freelance. So we could travel. Build that life in the mountains you dream of. And you. You look at me like I'm the spark that lit the match. The room's spinning. Quit her firm? Partner track? Fragments flickered. Her celebrating a big win last spring. Champagne flutes clinking. My arms around her waist. But in my scrambled reel. It was a fight, her yelling about sacrifices, me accusing her of chains. Confabulation's coup. I'm sorry, I whispered. Reaching for her. She stepped back. Arms crossed like a shield. No. Enough half measures. Her chin lifted. That lawyer steel gleaming. You want truth? Fine. Elena wasn't just a fling. She broke me, taught me I could love women. But also that I could destroy them. I cheated on her with a guy. Panicked about normalcy. Ran from it all until you. You. Tessa Whitaker. With your wild heart and ink-stained fingers you made me brave. But if you can't see that through the smoke. She swallowed hard. Maybe we need to let go. The words landed like a sucker punch. Let go? After the fire forged us? Panic clawed my throat. Don't. Please. I love you. Even in the dark. She softened then. Crossing the space to cup my face. Thumbs brushing my tears. Then fight for it. Fight the fog. With me. We did. In fits and starts. Christmas Eve found us at Rockefeller Center. The tree a glittering behemoth. Skaters twirling below like hopeful electrons. Alex rented the ice for us alone. Strings pulled from her network, and we glided hand in hand. Laughter bubbling as I wobbled. Her steadying me with a grin that lit the night brighter than the lights. Remember our first winter here? She asked. Spinning me under a sprig of mistletoe hung from nothing but string. You slipped on the sidewalk. Caught you. Said it was fate. The memory bloomed. Unbidden and pure. Her wool coat enveloping me. Breath minty with promise. No shadows. Just us. I kissed her then. Deep and devouring. the world fading to the scrape of blades and her soft moan. Fate, I echoed against her lips. But fate's a fickle bitch. New Year's brought the real inferno, not flames, but revelation. I was digging through old boxes in the closet, hunting for my grandmother's locket to anchor a memory exercise, when I unearthed a USB drive, unlabeled, tucked in a velvet pouch. Heart pounding. I plugged it into Alex's Mac. Videos. Grainy. Timestamped from last summer. Not porn, worse. Alex. In our brownstone kitchen. Arguing with a woman off-screen. Elena's voice. Tinny through the speakers. You can't just erase me. Alex. We were real. I ended it years ago. Alex snapped. Face flushed. Tessa's my future. You're the past, the mistake I almost repeated when things got hard last month. One call. One weak moment. But I stopped it. For her. The camera hidden. Phone propped on the counter. Caught it all, Elena lunging. Grabbing Alex's wrist. A shove that toppled a vase. Shards everywhere. Like our trust. Then Alex. Voice steal. Get out. Or I tell Mark everything. Elena fled. Door slamming. End scene. I sat there. Numb. As snow swirled outside. Betrayal. Yes, but not Alex's. She'd shielded me. Buried the temptation to spare my heart. And in my amnesia, I'd twisted it into arson. Into ruin. When she came home from the gym, ponytail swinging, I played it without a word. Her face cycled through shock. Shame. Devastation. Tessa. That was the call you overheard. The weak moment. Work stress. Us fighting about kids' future stuff. Elena emailed out of nowhere. Fishing. I called to shut it down. Nothing happened. I know, I said quietly. Standing to face her. The fire wasn't you. It was wiring. Like they said. But I made you the villain because I'm scared. Of losing myself. Of not being enough. She crossed to me. Tentative. You're everything. That USB? I hid it to protect us both from my shame. But hiding's what almost broke us. We cried then. A torrent that washed the grime. Forgive me, she whispered. Forehead to mine. Only if you forgive me. Our lips met. Salt and sweetness. A vow renewed in the quiet storm. January thawed into tentative spring. My memories trickling back like meltwater. A walk in Prospect Park revealed the full reel. Our engagement. Knees in the grass. Her yes a symphony. The fights. Yes, about her ambition swallowing us. My fears of fading into her shadow. But love? Always the baseline. Yet conflict simmered. Alex's freelance gig ballooned into offers from top firms, late nights again. Black tie galas where power suits and schmoozing left her drained. It's for us, she'd say. Slipping into bed at 2 a.m. Lipstick smudged from air kisses with colleagues. Stability. After the fire. Jealousy gnawed, not of Elena, but of the city that claimed her. One gala night. I waited up. Wine glass in hand. Doing. She stumbled in. Heels dangling from fingers. Dress hugging her like a second skin. Dance with me, she slurred. Swaying to phantom jazz. I pulled her close. But words spilled bitter. You're slipping away. Again. Into that world that doesn't need me. Her buzz faded fast. Eyes sharpening. This resentment. Tess, it's the amnesia talking. Or is it you? Afraid of being whole? So you sabotage. The accusation stung true. Whole meant vulnerable. Maybe. But you're choosing the grind over us. We escalated. Yells bouncing off brick. Plates clattering as she swept takeout containers aside. I lost everything in that fire too, she shouted. Voice breaking. My notes. My books are life. But I rebuilt for you. And you? You call me the ruiner. I stormed out. Into the balmy April night. Pounding pavement till my lungs burned. At a dive bar in the East Village, neon buzz. Sticky floors, I nursed a whiskey. Texting Mara, fucking up again. Her reply, go home. Fight fair. Dawn found me on the stoop. Head in hands. Alex opened the door. Disheveled in my old Metallica tee. Coffee mug steaming. Couldn't sleep either? We really talked on the fire escape. City waking below. About fears. Mine of erasure. Hers of stagnation. I want the mountains too, she admitted. But not without you leading the way. Compromise bloomed. Her capping hours at 50 a week. Me pitching a graphic novel about queer resilience. Born from the ashes. Touches lingered. Her hand in mine on subways. My sketches of her sleeping form taped to the fridge. Climax crashed in May. At a mutual friend's wedding in the Catskills. Oak-paneled hall. Wildflowers everywhere. Vows exchanged under chandeliers like fallen stars. We stood as witnesses. Alex in a silk jumpsuit that hugged her hips. Me in a flowy midi dress with floral embroidery. As the couple kissed, something snapped, a full memory cascade. Triggered by the bouquet's scent. The night before the fire. Alex on the phone. Yes to Elena. But ending it. Don't contact me again. I choose Tessa. Every time. Then. Hanging up. She'd turn to me in bed. Pulling me close. You're my anchor. Storm girl. But in the chaos. I twisted it, heard complicity. Not closure. Tears streamed as the band struck up at last. I grabbed Alex's hand. Dragging her to the floor. Dance with me. Now. We swayed. Bodies sinking like we'd never parted. I remember. I breathed into her ear. All of it. The call. The choice. You chose me. Her laugh was a sob. Always. Even when you forgot. Confetti rained. And in that glitter, I saw our future scarred, but shining. Summer unfurled over New York like a lover's lazy yawn. Humid nights alive with fireflies in the parks. Rooftop barbecues scenting the air with charred corn and possibility. My graphic novel took shape. Pages filling with ink and ache. Tessa and Alex as archetypes. The amnesiac and the anchor. Their love a labyrinth of loss and light. Publishers sniffed around. But I held back. Savoring the creation as catharsis. Alex thrived too. Her pro bono work spotlighted in the Times. Defending a network of LGBTQ+ shelters against city cuts. We celebrated with a weekend in the Berkshires. Her firm's perks funding a cabin nestled in pines. Lake views stretching like a promise. Mornings. We kite. Her laughter echoing as she splashed me. Evenings. Bonfires where we'd roast marshmallows. Her stories of courtroom conquests weaving with my sketches of the flames. Intimacy deepened. Boundaries blurring into bliss. One twilight. Skinny dipping in the lake. Water cool as silk against sun-warmed skin. She surfaced beside me. droplets beating on her lashes like diamonds. "Marry me again," she murmured, treading water, her legs tangling with mine. Properly. No smoke, no shadows. Kissed her there. Waves lapping our confessions. Yes. 1,000 times. Back in the city. Cracks reemerged, not ours, but the world's. Protests erupted over a Supreme Court ruling gutting trans rights. Queer bars shuttered by skyrocketing rents. The pulse of our community fraying under economic strain. Alex threw herself into advocacy. Rallies by day. Fundraisers by night. I joined when I could. Megaphone in hand. Chanting alongside drag queens and activists. Her profile fierce under protest lights. But distance crept in. My novel deadline loomed. Isolation my muse. Her schedule ballooned with depositions. Texts replaced touches. Miss your chaos. Home late. Love. Guilt gnawed. Had the fire's echo made us fragile? Or were we just human? Prone to drift? The betrayal struck subtly. A serpent in Eden. It started with a client, Lila Grant, a 28-year-old firebrand litigator poached from a rival firm. All sharp wit and sharper heels. Alex brought her to dinner one night. Networking, she said. Lila was magnetic. Olive skin glowing under candlelight. Jet black curls cascading. Eyes like polished onyx that lingered on Alex a beat too long. Tessa. Right? The artist. Alex raves about your work. We clicked. Unervingly. Bonded over shared disdain for corporate greed. Swapped stories of coming out in conservative families. But as weeks passed, Lila's texts to Alex multiplied. Brilliant closing today. Drinks to celebrate? Harmless. Alex insisted. Colleague stuff. She's straight. Married to her job. Doubt festered. My old demon. Late one night. Scrolling her phone while she showered. Trust's fragile thread. I found the thread. Flirty emojis. Inside jokes. A photo of them at a bar. Arms slung casual. Lila's hand on Alex's knee. Miss our late nights. You light up a room. Counselor. Rage. Familiar as a scar. Ignited. I confronted her in the steam-filled bathroom. Towel clutched like armor. Lila. Really? After Elena? After everything? Alex emerged. Dripping. Eyes widening. Tess. It's nothing. Banter. She's going through a divorce, venting. Bullshit. I thrust the phone at her. This is how it starts. The spark. She snatched it. Scrolling. Face paling. Okay. Maybe it veered. Friendly. But I shut it down. Told her I'm engaged. Happy. Show me. Paranoia gripped me. But I couldn't stop. She dialed. Beaker on. Lila's voice husky with sleep. Alex? 2 a.m.? Everything okay? Just clarifying boundaries, Alex said. Voice firm. The flirting stops. I'm with Tessa. End of story. Awkward pause. Then Lila's laugh, tinged with regret. Got it. Sorry if I misread. You're lucky. Tessa. She's 1 in a million. Click. Silence thrummed. I sank to the tile. Sobs racking. I'm sorry. I can't. I keep seeing monsters where there are none. Alex knelt, wrapping me in her towel. Warm and wet. It's okay. We're okay. But this jealousy, it's eating you alive. We need help. Therapy intensified. Jordan guiding us through attachment wounds. My fear of abandonment rooted in a childhood of parental divorce. Her guilt from past infidelities manifesting as overcompensation. Love isn't possession, he said. It's choice. Renewed daily. We chose. Vigorously. Date nights enforced, picnics in Central Park. Her surprising me with tickets to a sapphic theater troupe. Me cooking her paella. Candlelit on the balcony. Touches intentional. Her fingers tracing my tattoos during movie marathons. My head in her lap as she read case law aloud. Voice a lullaby. Climax crested in August. Heat wave baking the asphalt. Tempers flaring citywide. A massive rally downtown. For marriage equality's next frontier. Poly protections drew thousands. Alex keynote. Her speech a thunderclap. Love defies labels. Fires. Forgets. It's the queerest act of all, choosing each other. Scars and all. I watched from the front row. Pride swelling. But as she descended the stage, Lila approached uninvited. Eyes glassy. That was incredible, she gushed. Hugging Alex too tight. Too long. The crowd surged. But I saw red. I stormed up, yanking Alex away. Back off, I snarled at Lila. She's mine. Gasps rippled. Lila recoiled. Hurt flashing. Tessa. Alex whirled on me. Fury blazing. What the hell? This isn't you. Parading me like property. The argument exploded amid the throng, words like daggers. My accusations of history repeating. Her retort of stifling my world. She stormed off. Swallowed by the subway. Leaving me adrift in chance and chaos. Hours later. I found her at our old haunt, the poetry slam in the village, nursing a gin and tonic. Eyes distant. I slid beside her. Voice small. I ruined it. Again. Called you out like you were the villain. When I'm the one torching bridges. She turned. Gaze softening. Not ruined. Shaken. A beat. Lila's out, I blocked her. But you. We can't live in this cage of doubt. Either trust me. Or let go. The words choked me. But in the dim light. Mic stands like sentinels. Truth dawned. I trust you. I choose you. Every scarred. Stormy inch. She pulled me on stage then. Impromptu grabbed the mic. Voice trembling. This is for Tessa. The woman who burned and rose. Who forgot and remembered. I lost you once to fire. Won't lose you to fear. Her poem poured out raw. Rhythmic. A love letter in verse. Flames forging gold. Amnesia yielding to anchors. The crowd hooped. But we didn't hear. We kissed under spotlights. World narrowing to us, lips fierce. Hands claiming. A public vow amid the queer chorus. Fall gilded the leaves. Our wedding plans blooming small. In the mountains a rustic lodge. Vows exchanged at sunset. Mara's best man toast roasting us gently. No grand fanfare. Just kin, blood and chosen witnessing our redo. The night before. Nerves jangling. We lay in the cabin. Stars pricking the sky like promises. Scared, she whispered. Fingers laced with mine. Terrified, I admitted. Of forgetting again. Of not being enough. She rolled atop me. Eyes locking. You're my memory. Tess. The one that matters. Dawn broke on the ceremony. Me in a linen suit. tattoos peeking like secrets, her in ivory silk, radiant as dawn. Vows simple, in fire and fog. I choose you. To rebuild, to remember, to love without ruin. Rings exchanged, new ones, etched with flames entwined. Kiss sealed. Cheers erupted. But our world was the press of her body, the beat of her heart sinking mine. Months later, snow dusting the city again, my novel launched, a bestseller in queer-lit circles. Dedication to Alex, my anchor in the blaze. Reviews hailed its humanity, a testament to love's alchemy, turning amnesia to epiphany. We didn't return to the brownstone too haunted. Instead, a koop in Harlem. Walls alive with our art. Windows framing sunrises over the river. Some nights, nightmares flicker, smoke curling, doubts whispering. But she pulls me close, murmurs, we're fireproof now, and we are. Human, flawed, achingly real. In America's vast tapestry, where queers carve homes from concrete and heartbreak, we chose our thread. Woven tight, unbreakable. Not every story ends in ashes. Ours bloomed from them, romantic, raw. A quiet revolution of two hearts daring to remember.